This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
So Harry Gant, who has had a marvelous season thus far in the Winston Cup with wins at both Richmond and at Bristol in the Grand Nationals, he is looking very strong despite his age, as we've got a car in trouble as Arie Luyendyk loses it into the wall with a very hard hit, and the car continues not under power now, but also without brakes.
Or the right front wheel.
So minus that right front, Arie Luyendyk now lets the car roll back toward the pit area, and we are under caution at Talladega. We'll be back. And here is the situation that developed bringing out this caution. Arie Luyendyk tagging the wall very hard with the right front of the car and almost destroying the front end. Now remember, laps under caution do not count, so we're still on lap 15. Another view of the same situation. That's Hurley Haywood in the blue car, and they are very close together there, and suddenly the turn by Arie Luyendyk. So what's the situation? On board Scott Pruitt, Bobby Unser.
Well, it looks like that they should have done this earlier. So the drafting, for some reason or other, gets split up every once in a while. Everything is like a flywheel action around here. Once you get wound up, you can't slow that flywheel down.
And for the first time in this run, we are beginning to see some separation. But at the front of the field, the racing continues very tight as we look from Gant ahead to Wallace.
We're really at the point of the race where we're seeing a hand signal here from Gant, either ahead or behind him. We're at the point where the NASCAR men are going to start racing each other. All bets will be off in a moment as far as their teamwork within the race, and they'll be battling themselves.
You know, I just want to mention on that hand signal real quick, Paul, that was Gant saying, hey, leave me alone, I'm okay. If he wanted to be bumped or pushed a little bit, he'd tell the guy. If he wanted to go to the left, he'd point his fingers to the left, and etc. But he didn't. He said, hey, I'm okay.
Much more of a team effort than one might imagine now with just 4 laps to go. Can Davey Allison hold on to that top position? The conventional wisdom would suggest to you that Dale Earnhardt is in the best possible position, and it is obvious that the Winston Cup boys are at the front of this field and they want to hold on.
Don't count out Rusty Wallace, the defending champion. He's third here now in the black car. He's been inconspicuous all day, maybe partially because of the color of that car, but he has been running a very sharp race. And notice that all the leaders right now are the Winston Cup men.
Just a little prediction. Davey Allison leading it right now, but when it comes down to the last lap, or maybe 2 laps from the end, it's going to be the team. Earnhardt will pull out. The other guys will get behind him because they're third place now. They could be second if they got behind Earnhardt. Just imagine what your game plan would be if you were one of these drivers.
And of course, what we are seeing is the worst nightmare of both the IndyCar drivers and the road racers, because the Winston Cup drivers have begun to pull away. They have teamed up, and in doing so, they're pulling away from everyone but Davey Jones.
And you know, keep in mind, the IndyCar guys have lost Scott Pruitt. He's way back right now, no factor in the race. Jeff Brabham is not feeling too good. He's definitely got a bad neck. So they don't have enough IndyCar guys to match the NASCAR guys at the moment.
You know, when you see the high banks of Daytona or Talladega on television, they look very similar. But Jack and Ruth, they're quite different.
Well, we saw one of the closest finishes ever in the International Race of Champions, and they're...
So now working toward the white flag with Davey Allison out in front. And the time for decision has come for Dale Earnhardt as he forces his way down inside the trioval, forces Allison up to the outside. Rusty Wallace is just behind as he picks up a tow from Wallace and then from Allison, as the white flag is already out and we are on the final lap as Earnhardt, a little bit early, has made the move. Will it pay off, or will Rusty Wallace be in the spectacular position?
And Rudd in that green car is almost where he said he wanted to be, as Wallace, who is where he wanted to be, now takes the lead.
The teamwork is gone now. As Wallace, look at it, they come down, they touch, Gant tries to move to the inside, Davey Jones forces up into the center, and Davey Jones moves into the lead. It's Gant and Earnhardt alongside as they are 3 abreast. This is the final corner. Davey Allison moves down to the inside. Davey Allison has it at the moment. Earnhardt runs in second place as they scream for the line. They're still 4 abreast. It looks like Davey Jones almost lost it for a second.
But like I said, hogs going to slop, Paul.
And Davey Allison, winner of the Daytona 500, has won here in round number 2 of the International Race of Champions. As they hit the last lap, all bets were definitely off. And I'll tell you what, Davey Allison definitely knows that he was in a car race. I bet they all love this one.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
This has been a presentation of TNT Sports.